Hi lovely people, I'm back. This is the Inglis Classics Garage clip, and in this one you are going to see a 1951 Pontiac 8, beautiful car, and you're also going to see one that you haven't probably seen before. They're not too common. It's a 1971 Opel GT. So stick around and you get a sneak peek at some of the cars we're working on. Inglis Classics test drive on a 1951 Pontiac 8. Absolutely stunning car. She's got front and rear airbags and hydraulics. And we had the privilege of working on her motor. Looks like he's going through the gears. And here she comes heading back to the shop. She's got a inline flathead 8. Massive motor. A lot of people won't do any work on these motors, but we love them. She looks like she's driving great. Now that we're back from the test drive, can you tell us what you did on this motor?
First thing I did was crank it up, adjust the carburetor. Then I got the carburetor running very well. And then also I did a tune-up, spark plug wires, coil, points, and we even put another starter in it. A reman starter, the original reman starter. I had a guy to rebuild it because it wasn't engaging like it should. It just kept on spinning over.
And you can't just buy these starters at any auto parts store. They have to be rebuilt because the car's so old.
Yes.
And then we also put in that new shiny alternator. I know that the original alternator that was on there was only 94 amps, and this one is a one-wire hookup, and it's 140 amps, so that's going to give him some more power there that he was lacking, because he also has another battery right in the back running tanks for his airbags.
Well, he only has one battery.
Oh, one battery?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we only have one
So
battery.
that little alternator wasn't doing it. And so how fast did he say he was able to go before, and how fast can you go now?
Well, the thing was, I don't know if he was actually putting in the gear, the right gear, or he was just stressing the transmission so much and it was just slipping. But I had it up to 75 miles an hour.
Okay.
And she was running pretty great. The front end is a little squirmy, but she's just old. That's the way she is.
But if he wanted to do suspension upgrades, he could.
Yeah, I would do a Mustang 2 front suspension. You have better control of the car.
Okay. Great.
Other than that, it's good to go.
Make sure you like, follow, and share. Thank you. Here's something you don't see every day. We've got a 1971 Opel GT. And she's having some trouble with her carburetor. Can you tell us what happened?
Somebody didn't place the gaskets up underneath this heat shield. So he had an old gasket up underneath this heat shield, and it was sucking air because you got a worn out gasket that's not sealing properly. And they put a new gasket on top, but they didn't clean the surface of it. Right. So it's going to leak.
Right. So what do you want to do when you put a new gasket on these?
You want to replace both gaskets. You want to place the bottom gasket and the top gasket between the two spacers. If you have a spacer, you want to actually replace the gaskets on both sides of the spacer. Even if it's just a regular spacer or if it's a heat shield for the exhaust manifold.
So really, they need to make sure that this is all clean and flush and everything, so you don't have any gaps.
This is ridiculous.
Okay, so this is the carburetor
here.
here.
It has been rebuilt. The carburetor has been rebuilt.
Okay.
It's working and running fine. It's just a vacuum leak. Whenever you have a vacuum leak, it's going to surge up and down. Or if not, it's going to surge really high.
Okay, so this is where the carburetor was. And this is your Opel motor. Little thing, huh? It's a 4-cylinder. But I thought I'd share this one with you guys because you don't see these every day, and we have been getting calls for Opels. So not a lot of people will work on these, but we will. So please feel free to refer them to us. And we'll keep you updated with a test drive. Test drive on a 1971 Opel GT. Pretty neat little car. The Opel GT first generation came out in 1968 through 1973. Pretty similar in body style as a Chevy Corvette, as well as its suspension. And we'll catch it on the way back here. And here she comes. She had some carburetor issues, and it looks like all of her spark plugs were loose. We checked her cap and rotor. It was looking good, but she had loose wires. She does need some TLC. It looks like she's running a lot better than she was. Although these cars are made in Germany, for a while Buick was actually selling them in their dealerships. So we're getting her back in. Let's see what else she needs done. Stay tuned. I'm inside the Opel right now. We're about to lift it up. The customer was telling us something was bogging down. He thinks it might be something in the drivetrain, so we're going to give it a look. But thought you'd be interested in looking at what the inside of these cars look like. Small little back seat here. Like I said, she needs some love and care. Missing a door panel there. But we'll take care of her here.